Hey, Melon Head.
Hey, hot dummy.
Oh, I'm not hot over here.
Oh, you got your air conditioner put in.
Oh, I got two of them put in.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to put an ice block on my head like old Italian grandfather in a minute.
Oh, no. It's still hot in here because we just got home, but it's not as bad as your house, I'm sure.
Ugh. My house is a hot mouth.
I did forget. I told you I thought I forgot to dump the coffee in my. I did. It was. I fucked up.
It
I
was
left it.
terrible.
The pot had mold in it, and then I fucking left a drink on my table in the living room, and that was moldy too because it was so freaking hot in here. Cool, cool.
Cool. I had a tiny little glass sitting on my counter, the only glass that I didn't wash before we left, and it had like a millimeter of almond milk in it. And when I looked at it before I washed it, just over the course of 3 days, it had like 4 inches of something that had been almond milk in it.
Ew.
It grew and it was bubbling.
The water bowls I put out back for the burbs and the whoever else were not looking good. I changed them all. I put food out. The woodpecker feeder got ripped down. I picked it back up and the woodpecker came like instantly, and I filled up all the seeds, and then I put a dish out for the skunk and some cat food out for the possums or the cats. I don't know who's gonna come, but
It's going to be a party over your house tonight. They're like, oh shit, Studio 54, Mama home.
they missed me. They didn't break anything though. They didn't rip anything. One of my the books on one of my bookshelves fell down. I don't know why.
Everything in my house was fine. It didn't blow up. The roof didn't cave in. The crawl space didn't flood out. The walls didn't crack. Raccoons weren't living in my bedroom.
I told you everything was going to be fine.
I mean, I still haven't gone upstairs yet, so there might be Sleeping Beauty upstairs in my bed.
Everything's fine.
But true to fashion, all of my clothes have been washed and are in the dryer now. Everything has been put away. New iced coffee has been made. All the dishes are washed. Virgo life.
I put away my toiletries and makeup and products, and I took out my phone charger, and I took a shower, and that's about it. I didn't unpack. It's on the living room floor.
Everything's unpacked. My ornamental burb that I got while on our trip, I hung from my hanging plant, so he's hanging underneath my hanging plant, taking care of that.
Cute, Burb. So we went to Saugatuck is where we went for we were there for, sorry, Sunday minute, like 4 days.
Yeah, the province town of Michigan.
Yes. It was SFF, so fucking fancy.
It was pretty fancy.
And it was fun. You have been there before. I had never been there before, and it was really cute. And your sister got us a really cute old historic house Airbnb, and we walked to town multiple times a day and ate all the food and drank all the drinks and went to the beach.
I feel like we could have eaten more.
I could have eaten more, but I also feel huge, so whatever.
Well, I feel like we could have eaten more, but it's one of those towns where everything is closed at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's not how we work. We were both getting hungry around 11 or 12 every night, and nothing was open. So we went to the first night, well, whatever. We went to Walmart one of the nights, and then we went to Walgreens the next night, because that's all there was.
And you lost your shit at Walmart.
I know I did. I bought so much shit. Because the thing is, we weren't going to stay that long, and then we were like, your sister wanted us to stay longer, and then I was like, let me text my clients and see if I can move them out one day. So then me and you were like, we don't have any freaking clothes. And the only thing around for our cheap asses was Walmart. So we went, and I'm like, I'm going to get one pair of sandals and a sundress and and dry shampoo, because I forgot my dry shampoo. And then you come around the aisle, and I had 4 pairs of shoes, 2 pairs of shorts, a dress, and the dry shampoo. I lost it, man. Everything was I never go there, and everything was so cheap. I'm like, I got all of that. 4 pairs of shoes. Wait, it was 1 pair of sandals, 3 pairs of tennis shoes, a sundress, 2 pairs of shorts, and dry shampoo for frickin' $66.
That's Walmart. That's how they get you. That's how Satan gets you.
I was riding high, dude.
He sucks you in with cheap clothes and cheap shoes.
No. Then we went to get ice cream with your sister and her little fam. And then we were standing in line. I'm like, me and Tenney went to Walmart last night. We were so stoked. And you got a Roku for the Airbnb. And now we decided we have to take the Roku everywhere we go.
Roku is a new travel accessory.
And we watched so much 90210. So that was really cozy.
We saw Dylan's dad die.
Dylan's dad got blown up. That was a sad episode. And
got to see Brenda learn karate and fend off attackers. No.
No, Donna and Brenda and the mom went to self-defense class. And then what else that episode was on? I don't remember. But that was cozy. And we watched Jaws. We felt like we were in Jaws the whole weekend. So we were like, let's watch Jaws.
Saugatuck is very much like Amity.
Yes. So we watched the Jaws. And what else? Yeah, we went to the beach and we were like slugs. We like to explore or go find things or do things. I don't know. We can't just sit there. So we're at the beach and then we're like, now what? And then they wanted us to come to the beach the next day and we're like, we gotta find something to do.
My sister and my brother-in-law, when they go to Saugatuck, they go to the beach every day for like 7 days. Mm-hmm. They get to the beach at like noon and then they're there till 5.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And they just lay.
I can't do that. I mean, I could have went, okay, let's say if we were there for 7 days, I would have went for like 2 of them probably, but like.
My sister, though, is a notorious, historically known, like, sun diva. Ever since, like, I have been able to recognize that as a trait in people. Like, when I was growing up, because she's 5 years older than me, she was always in the backyard, like, copper tone, laying on the grass, soaking up sun.
Yeah, I know you asked if she had sunscreen, and she's like, no, I have, what did she say?
Baby oil.
Yeah, no one uses that anymore.
Right. She might as well put cooking oil on herself.
I know. I was like, I'm not using that. I'll make it worse.
And then you got to see my family's hard side edge through my sister.
Yeah, we went to a restaurant and they were being dicks. Like, we put our name in and then we waited for a freaking hour and then we finally gave up. Your sister got so pissed. She yelled at the host and she yelled at the bartender and then she's like, we're leaving. And then on the way out, I'm like, I know how this works. I've worked at a million restaurants. So I look at the hosting, I look at the list. They had sat 4 tables after us. So we're like, absolutely the fuck not. So we bounced out. Yeah,
and you got to see the Tenney rage that it's not just my father, that it's inside my sister.
I know. She's so cute and little. And I was not ready. I got it. I understood it, but I was not ready.
My sister will punch your face off if she needs to.
I saw that. I noticed. But she's also so freaking cute and like fun and like.
She's also one of the smartest people that I know.
Yeah. And just like the best energy level and like, oh, let's go in here. Let's do this. Let's buy this. Let's whatever. Like anything for joy at any moment.
Well, I've told you too, I've had this discussion with her and I think with you that my sister is like, even though she doesn't have a belief structure that's like ours or weirdos, like my sister, I've tried to explain to her, is like a natural witch. Like my sister constantly has baubles and bangles all over her wrists. She's got special rocks that she brings with her. She's got special jewels she has to wear. She always picks out things that are moons and stars. And she constantly has like refresher water that she has to spray on herself. That's different flower. Like she's a natural witch. Like she's doing it instinctively without knowing that she's creating like a system and a ritualistic kind of witchcrafty. That's one of the things that I like about when I talk in my lectures about people don't realize that they're natural magicians and natural witches. And like, she's a perfect example of it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you talk about people manifesting stuff. She manifests shit. She makes shit happen.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I know, like, even before, like, the first few times I met her, I feel like I just, like, saw her outside your house or, like, when we're, like, pulling away, but I was like, she's witchy. I, like, always felt it anyway.
And she's got her crazy, big, long witch hair.
I know, she's got really good hair. She's adorable. She got me a bracelet. She got us Christmas ornaments. And they, like, got us a beach pass for the whole year, so now we have to go back there.
We have to go back there in the fall because who do we have to look for?
The raccoon?
No.
Ooh.
Who do we have to look for when we go back in the fall?
Melon Heads.
What?
Melon Heads.
Yeah, the Melon Heads.
The melons. So we went to you say it.
Felt Mansion.
Yeah.
Which is right near where we were. And Felt Mansion was this big mansion that this guy built for his wife. And then when he finished building it, like she died like 2 years later.
Not
and then
even.
he died like a year after that. So they didn't ever even get to live in it. Yeah. And it was a lot of things. It was like a seminary school, and it was a house for the poor, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. But then a legend grew up around it that it was also an insane asylum, and that they had let some of the inmates go off into the woods. And the legend that's built up is that all in the forests around the Felt Mansion are the Melon Heads, these tiny creatures with giant heads. That kind of get described as like aliens. Mm-hmm. And then the part of it, the historical part of it that people talk about is that the idea is that like children with like hydroencephalitis were what people were calling the Melon Heads, that there were these like feral children with a physical disease and loose in the woods. But then there's another aspect of the historical part of it, which is since it was a school for a little while, people think that the locals who weren't going and getting great educations would call the scholars and the people going to that school Melon Heads because they were smart kids. Mm-hmm. And then over the years, it just turned into strange creatures in the woods.
I read another thing, too, that, like, there was whatever when it was I don't know what they thought it was, or if it was near there, or there was a rumor that it was like a hospital or a asylum. But there was another story that went like, there was some like mad doctor, and he was like making their heads huge, like putting liquid in their freaking heads. And then, so finally they all like rose up and like killed the doctor. And then there was two different endings. There was one ending that said, what was it? They cut him into a bunch of pieces and hid them in the walls or in the rooms of the mansion. And then the other one was that I don't remember how they got rid of him, but they were scared to get caught. So they all like they had to disappear into the woods and just like disappear. So then they all lived in the woods.
And it's one of those cases where we talk about all the time, people and their ideas about things perhaps causing stuff to happen, whether it's happening or not, because then you get case sightings for 30 years of people seeing little people with giant heads running around out in the woods. Mm-hmm. And then the legends build up around that. And then are you actually seeing them? Did people manifest them? Like, do they appear now? Or even on top of that, like Michigan is kind of known for having little creatures in its woods, like fae folk in the woods. Mm-hmm. So is that what the people are seeing too? Did that just get wrapped up in the legend?
Yeah, there was like woods like right behind the house and then like across from the house. And there was a weird little chapel. Yeah, so we went into I stole some shit like I always do. I stole a little. Oh, and then we almost got ran over by a deer.
Yep.
We went over by the woods so I could take a sprig off a tree, and like we took a little.
So you could scream, "Melon Heads, we love you. Come visit us."
Melons! I know. I went to the edge of the forest and I was like, "Melons, we love you." And then we were walking around. I'm like, we're probably the only ones who said hi to the melons today. But yeah, so I grabbed a twig and some pine cones for my jars that I make of spooky places, and we almost got trampled by a deer. And then we went in the woods and got eaten alive by mosquitoes, and we've been itching for 2 days. But aside from the legend and whatever, the house was so pretty.
So pretty.
That was one of the best ones we ever went in. Yeah,
for sure. It was not your typical, this place has a spooky legend and someone bought it for $50 and opened it up and you got to wear a breather mask. Like, it was completely restored inside and gorgeous.
Yeah, it was stunning. Like, there was murals and crazy wardrobes, like big wooden wardrobes that like you could fit like 3 people in. And
wardrobes that you could open and walk inside of and end up in Narnia.
Honestly, that's what they look like. And every room was kind of a different theme almost. And there was a ballroom upstairs. And then we were walking in. I'm like, this is like I meant to say flowers in the attic house. That's what it looked like. And then I said toys in the attic like an idiot. You're like, that's an Aerosmith album, you idiot. I always know like 73% of what I'm talking about, and the rest is just a mess.
You know, what's funny though is you will state something and immediately know it's wrong.
I know. I have like early onset something because I know stuff is in my brain and it won't get from my brain to my fucking mouth. Like I know what I'm trying to say. It's fine.
A fun time was had by all.
It was. So yeah, we still have the melons. And then we just decided when we were driving home that anytime we see woods, we'll just yell to the melons like they're there. No matter what state we're in, no matter where we are. We just feel like the melons are with us now.
Yeah.
And then we said there was corn heads in the cornfields. So we have melon heads and corn heads.
We haven't developed the legend of the corn heads yet.
No, we have not. We'll get there.
But I'm on it. I'm figuring it out.
I know. Corn heads. Oh, and then, so I've noticed, and people have been telling me too, like from our podcasts, like we'll talk about something and then something will happen right after that had to do with the podcast. And then me and you will talk about something random. And then like in the next week, the thing that we talked about will happen. So on the last time we talked, we're talking about old spooky houses with fucked up stairs. And then literally we go meet up with your sister. And the first thing she says is they rented a different house from us. Super sad side story. They had rented a different house for us because it had to be dog friendly because they booked this months ago and Bean was still alive. So then we get to our freaking Airbnb and they had a dog bag and I almost fucking unalived myself. So, but anyway, so their house was spookier than ours and the steps were fucked. And she's like, I think I'm going to sleep downstairs because I don't want to walk up these stairs. And we were like, we literally just talked about this.
Yeah. And then, of course, true to form, they were like, we're scared of these bedrooms. We're scared of. So, of course, you and I are like, let's go in these bedrooms and look them out, check them out. Oh, yeah, they're creepy. We love them. And then I go immediately under the stairs and open the door. I'm like, I bet you there's a trap door that leads to a crawl space. And my sister and brother-in-law and nephew are like, what are you doing? Don't open that door. And I'm like, I am definitely going under this house.
Yeah, before they could even like we got in the house, they were like, hey, who wants a drink? I have a blender. And we're like literally halfway into the crawl space by the time they can even stop offering us a drink. You had your iPhone flashlight out and we're like in a dusty crawl space. Like, talk to you later. We had to. That was a good house though.
It was a good house.
But yeah, the whole area was spooky. There was like a couple really good churches and like hotels and
cemeteries.
Yeah, we went to a cemetery.
There was a giant barrel where you can get root beer, and it closed because someone read that it was going to rain, and it never rained. And so they closed the whole thing down because of a giant rainstorm, and it never rained.
Never happened. No, it was like you got like, if you could, I don't even know how to describe it. It was literally like a freaking 30-foot root beer barrel. and you just walk up to it, and they serve root beer. And then I noticed on the sign that they had vegan brats and I was stoked. And then I was like halfway up the line and it said they only accepted cash. So we had to leave. And then we come back the next day and I was like, okay, I have cash now. I'm stoked. And they're like unloading the freaking barrel. They're like taking everything out of the barrel for a quote unquote rainstorm that never happened. So then we went and ate Mexican food outside and nothing ever happened, but it was so good. We like
that Mexican food was dope.
We got the biggest margaritas and we ate so much food that I was like miserable for hours after that. I like paralyzed myself with eating.
It seemed like at certain times we were living pretty fancy, but then like when I think about us crawling in crawl spaces and going up like to see the Melon Heads and then going to like Wally's bar.
Oh yeah, we went to that bar. There was like dead animals on the ceiling and a weird bartender guy who was like a old like surf bro.
I feel like my sister had never gone to that bar.
That was awesome.
Like that is not a place I think my sister would go.
I'm like so stoked too because literally everything we talked about so far, I took video of for our Patreon, so the video is going to be so good.
Did you take a picture of the guy singing Elton John?
I took it when he was singing Journey.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be money. Yeah, I took the bartender that we're talking about is in the video for sure. I was secretly filming him, and then I took video at the mansion, and of that we were like walking around. We're like zombies, so we're out at night, and no one's out. The streets were completely empty, so we're like walking, and we hear like the best. Elton John was playing, and I'm like, if that's a real person, that guy's fucking incredible. So we like keep walking, and it was real. And then we thought it was a wedding, so we didn't go in. And then we went to that Wally's place. We went to that bar, and they had really fucking good music on. And then go ahead, you tell. The guy brought up our favorite fucking bar, and we're like, what? We're 3 hours away from here.
Yeah, he asked us where we were from, and we said Royal Oak, and he's like, "Oh, is your favorite bar Gasoline Alley?" We were like, "What?"
I know we were so far. There was no reason he should have said that. But they were playing like new wave shit, and we were stoked.
It was good. And then we...
Oh my God. What was that?
Something just fell off my wall. That's fine, though.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. That's just weird.
Auntie?
Yeah. Anyway, then we left Wally's, and we heard the guy who had been singing Elton John singing Journey.
Yeah, it was like muffled, and I'm like, wait, I think I hear Journey. I'm like, we have to. It was like going away from where we were staying. I'm like, we must walk this way right now. And he was playing Journey, and I'm like, fuck this. I don't care if it's a wedding. I'm going up the stairs, and I like filmed him. Then we got food, and then there's this weird ferry there in town too. That's the only. It says Saugatuck. What did it say? Something ferry.
It's like a chain-pulled ferry.
Yeah, chain ferry, yeah. So it's like the only hand-crank ferry in the entire United States. It's the only remaining one, and it's really cute. So that was exciting. And then we forgot we were going to the beach, and there was like all these like compounds, like famous, Michigan famous people like live in the woods or have their vacation houses there. And there was this like not visually attractive at all brass something statue. We're like, what even is that? Where I'm like, is it a mermaid? Is that a dead body? And then in true road trip fashion, we decided that the best idea to hide a dead body on your property would be to make like a really elaborate outdoor sculpture, and it's a body in there and nobody would ever know.
It's a good one.
Nobody would ever know. If that literally that one we were looking at, nobody would ever know.
I feel like, so now that because we can wrap some things together, some ideas together. So like when I was talking about when I was at Kinko's and I saw that smelting iron drop on that car.
Yes, the metal skeleton story.
Right. So I feel like if you went in your garage and just melted a bunch of lead.
Yes.
And dumped it all over the body, and then you could put the body, what would be all melty, but it would be all metally, and it would look like a human statue, but it would just be the human body that you covered in like melty metal.
Yes.
And you could stick it on your front lawn, and people be like, that's cool.
Yeah, like that was the thing. Like this was on like a block. So if it was like super well done, like on a display, and then the top was like a statue, you could put like a little plate on it that said like whatever the fuck, like a name of the statue. No one would ever know.
And if a body piece came off while you were melting metal on it, you could just chuck it out the window when you're driving somewhere. Yeah. There's a toe, there's a chin bone.
I know. It was such a good idea. Because there's an old horror movie called Bucket of Blood that's the premise. And this guy, I think he's a waiter, and he's like, I forget what it was, but I don't know if
he's a struggling artist.
Yeah. And nobody ever paid attention to his shit. And then he like killed a cat and covered it, right?
In cement, yeah.
Yeah, and then he made like then he had like an art show, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck to make, and he killed a bunch of people and covered them in stuff.
And that's Bucket of Blood.
It's Bucket of Blood.
Roger Corman B movie.
It's so smart. Nobody would ever know. What else? I feel like we're missing something else that we did. We went to the cemetery.
We went to the thrift stores.
We went to 2 antique malls, and the second one made us violently ill.
Well, the first one made us feel violently poor.
No shit. The one in Saugatuck, it's called the Saugatuck Antique Pavilion, and just go there if you want to feel like a garbage person. Right?
Oh, look, I'm interested in this old Coca-Cola bottle cap for $35.
Bro, everything I picked up that I even would have remotely wanted was $85 for like a tiny thing.
It was crazy.
I know. So I got one record from there. I got a Valley of the Dolls LP soundtrack with Sharon Tate on the front. So I got that for $10. I was stoked on that. And then you got a record from there too.
Yeah, I got the soundtrack to Rocket Ship X1.
Yes. Very on brand for you.
But the thing is that, like I was saying in that place, what was so crazy is, as a comic book person, whenever you go to comic conventions or comic stores, they always have a box of comics that are called like, the box is either $1 per comic or it's like $5 for $1. Get rid of these things. They've been sitting around forever. And every box of like $1 comics they had at that Saugatuck store, each one of them was bagged and boarded as if it was a fucking #1 Superman. And they wanted $15 for each one. I was like, these are garbage comics. These are comics that people brought to Saugatuck and left there, and someone found them over the years and put together 300 of them. Every single one was water damaged. It looked like they were literally picked up off the beach.
I know all of the records we bought were all sleeved too. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
So we were like, let's get the fuck out of here. And then we went to Lansing and went to the Mega Mall, Antique Mall. And it was like fine at first. And then we got like 3 aisles in and both of us were like had the spins and were hot. And something was wrong with that place.
Yeah, I was walking through one of the aisles and I don't even know the song that was playing. There was like some song playing where I think it was John Legend and somebody. And I was like almost in tears crying. And I'm like, why am I crying in this thrift store? Like, this is bad. And then I walked to another section and I was like, oh, there's something wrong with this thrift store. There's either something in the thrift store or like the property it's built on or something happened in there. Like, it was bad.
It was very bad. We haven't both been that because we usually like you're way faster than I am at stuff, and I feel like you look for more niche stuff, and I'm just like do. So when we finally found each other again, I think you said at first you're like, I don't feel good. I'm like, I do not feel good. Like I felt like I could fall down.
Yeah.
And that never happens. And it took us like honestly like what 45 minutes from being out of there to feel better again.
Yeah.
That was weird, man.
It was super strange.
I know I didn't.
And that place was weird too because they did have some good prices on some stuff, but then there were some vendors in there that were just out of their fucking minds with what they wanted.
I know. I got a really cute rattan ottoman, like vintage 70s rattan ottoman for $17, and it's so freaking cute. So I'm stoked on that. And then you got comics from there, and you got a really cute vintage like 70s Zodiac set. It's like a set to make like Zodiac medallion necklaces.
I was looking at it. It's so silly. It's paper Zodiac medallions that you put in there's a little cardboard circle that you put them in. And then you mix this stuff and dump it on top. And it creates like a plastic layer on top and then it's a medallion. You can put a string through it in a medallion. And I was looking at like the ingredient stuff that's inside. It's literally dry Elmer's glue.
Oh my God. It's so cute though. The cover art the box is incredible.
I know, and it was missing one of the medallions, but when I was cleaning it up when I got home and looking at it, I realized that they show all the medallions on the front of the box. So I can scan the front of the box, print out the missing medallion, and then reattach it inside, and it'll be complete.
Yeah, it was super cute. That was only $10. I was thinking that would look so cute at the Buckland Museum, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I have so many doubles of strange board games. Maybe I should donate my doubles to the Buckland Museum.
You should.
Well, I know Greg and Dana probably have all of them.
Yeah. Well, you gave me me that Kreskin thing.
I still have 3 Kreskins.
Yeah, I like that. The ESP game, right?
Yeah.
I almost said ESPN because I'm a fucking jerk, bro. That was the other thing. The first night we got there, the fights were on, so I was just incapacitated watching the fights all night on vacation because I have problems.
I loved, the first night we get there, we're sitting at the bar trying to eat. My sister and brother-in-law are talking, and you're just keyed into your fucking phone like, I gotta get back. I gotta be able to watch the fights. I gotta watch the fights. I gotta watch the fights.
No, listen, I forgot the fucking worst part. So, okay, the night of the fights, I always tweet the entire time. So one of the fighters, who's like a pretty big deal, Michael Chiesa, he follows me on Twitter. He was fighting, and I put like a little War Chiesa, like go Chiesa tweet. And then he fucking lost, which was sad. So then I like screenshot my own tweet and crossed out Chiesa and put Aldo. Cause I'm like, if he lost, we have to move our energy to the next guy that I like. So I did it as a joke. So then I wake up the fucking next day. We're on our way to the beach in the woods on the edge of Michigan. Michael Chiesa commented on my fucking joke of a tweet with a sad face. Like he already lost and his heart is broken and he fucking put a sad face on my tweet because I crossed out his name. And then we get to the beach and I have no bars. And I couldn't answer. I'm like, and I walked all over. I walked by the snack stand. I walked all over. I'm like, I just need one fucking bar so I can answer. And then I was so stressed out. I couldn't even enjoy the beach. It was so
This was
stupid.
this was the first time I realized how addicted to your phone you are.
It's not, I swear to you.
It's not healthy.
No, but listen, if that situation wasn't going on, I wouldn't have touched my phone all day. I don't, look, as a person, as a whatever, on that trip, I barely touched my fucking phone.
Oh my God. You're nuts.
Whatever. If you saw me at home, I'm on it all day long. On that trip, I was on it.
That's
Whatever.
a problem.
Okay, you tweet literally more than I do.
What? How many tweets do you think that I sent while we were gone for 4 days?
Okay, but when you're home, you tweet like 10 times a day, and I tweet once.
Never.
Yes, you do. Whatever. Anyway, this is stupid. But so I was really stressed out, and whatever, I answered, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. He didn't unfollow me. I just felt really bad. And in the world that we live in, it's really frustrating to not have a signal for like a little bit. So yes, I did have some anxiety about that, but I'm fine now. Everything's fine.
And then you made fun of some guy's bald head.
I made fun of Dana White because the region that we were in, for some reason, everything was called bald. There was a bald mountain. It said, what did it say? Mount Bald Head Museum. So I said, what if we kissed at the Dana White Museum? Because they always call him Bald Head Dana or Baldy Dana. And then we were walking and we saw a restaurant that said Baldy's Barbecue. And then I'm like, what if we kissed at Dana's restaurant? And it just kept going. It was fun. I like small towns with weird signs and weird names of stuff. Like even Saugatuck is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I meant to, I'm going to circle back to 90210 because that's what I do as a person. I wrote down a quote a long time ago and I've been meaning to tell you about it. So I told you I'm really having like a real change of feelings because at the beginning of all of this, we rated all the characters and said who we liked and didn't like. And now I'm like, I love Steve. Steve is such a big part of the show and he's so fucking funny to me. So there was this episode on the other day and they were like at the beach and Brandon got a date with like a new girl. So he like comes over and like he's going to brag to Steve that he got a date. And so he tells me, he's like, oh, I blah, blah, blah. I landed a date with this girl. And Steve goes, oh, right. Stud mania out of control. Stud mania out of control. I really want to say that to somebody now.
Maybe that's a shirt.
I know. Oh, right. Stud mania out of control. And then on the back it'll say, get lost. Well, such a good show.
What if it said, all right, Stud Mania out of control, and on the back was just a picture of Steve's face?
Yes. Oh, my God. It's just no context on the back, just Steve.
No, just Steve's terrible mullet head face.
I love Steve. He's so misunderstood.
Still a 3.
No, he's not a 3. Not if you watch it. He's cute.
Just the amount of mock turtlenecks he wears puts him in the 3 category.
I know. You're right. Oh, this is another thing that I don't forget what we were watching, but I don't know if it was on the Roku like weight screen or something, but you were like, I wish there was like a video like this I could watch. Like you said you wanted to watch like meditation videos or like zone out and watch things that looked like screensavers.
Yeah.
So if you look up on YouTube, just search visual meditation.
I know that they're there.
Yeah, they look like kaleidoscopy things.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is that the way YouTube is now, and this is a problem with a lot of stuff like that, like deep sleep rain sound, 7 hours, like that. The problem is now, if people don't upload them correctly, YouTube will interrupt it with an ad every 30 minutes.
No.
So like you're laying on the couch and you're just getting into it, and then all of a sudden it's like, do you have erectile dysfunction? And you're like, well, I was just meditating.
Come on,
what are you doing to me?
I've had some with ads in them, but most of them don't.
Or like it's like, ooh, it's like this beautiful little humming sound, ooh, and then all of a sudden it like stops, and I'm like, oh, is this a dip in the music? And then like some lady's voice is like, my grandma died 6 months ago, and I'm like, oh my God, get out of here with this. Can't even.
I hate that. Oh my God, I just remembered when we were waiting to get into the beach, and you did my car's voice if it was a person.
Hi. Hi.
No, listen. First of all, my car has the worst horn sound. And then we were on a hill trying to get into the beach and there was a line. So every time I would brake, my brakes would make the tiniest noise. It would go like,
hi. Hi.
So you're like, this is your car's voice when it's.
When you honk your horn, your car goes, Stop!
Oh my god.
Stop!
Hi.
And then when you're climbing a hill, it goes, hi, hi.
You were doing it so breathy. I was literally crying. Oh my god. I love my
And then the big event for me when we were on our trip personally was I walked outside and I was having a cigarette and I heard a tree branch snap and fall right next to me, and I thought it was going to kill me. And I went over to see what kind of tree branch it was, but it wasn't. It was a giant porky squirrel had fallen right out of a tree.
Not a squirrel.
Or excuse me, a raccoon.
I know, and I didn't even get to see it.
It was probably, I'm serious, it was probably like 20-pound raccoon. He was so fat, and when he hit the ground, I thought it was a giant tree limb falling out of a tree. And it just tunk right to the ground. And by the time I got over there, he was walking around like, what, bro? What's going on? Nothing happened. Nothing happened to me. What's going on? Where's the gate? I got to get out of here.
I know, we tried so hard to find him again, but he was gone. He's gone.
And I haven't seen a raccoon in a long time, so I was happy. I was happy that I saw a raccoon and happy that he wasn't hurt.
I know, I haven't seen one in a long time either. Oh, I saw a possum when we were driving. We saw that deer. We saw some cows. We saw a lot of dogs. A lot.
A lot of dogs. Big dogs, though.
So many dogs. So many people there had huge, like, poodly dogs.
Yeah. I think that's the whole trip in a nutshell. How did I get into this nutshell?
I don't think that was a nutshell. I think that was, like, a lot.
Oh. Well, maybe then it was a lot.
Sorry, I'm coughing. You made me laugh, and now I can't stop coughing.
Hi! Hi! Stop!
You made me choke on my drink. Oh, my God.
What do you have to do for the week now?
Work. I have to work every day now because I smashed all my time off together to stay out of town, and now I have to work every second. It's fine. It'll be fine. I need to boost up my bank account because all we've been doing is fucking off.
I mean, the world is on fire, so how much longer can it burn?
We have to cram in our time.
Live for joy, spend for joy, buy for joy, live for joy. Are you gonna re-cushion that ottoman? Are you gonna get a different fabric for it?
You know, I'm not wild about the fabric at all, but in here it looks kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I think I'm getting a sewing machine.
Well, if you do, yeah.
So I haven't had a sewing machine for a long time, and this is probably new fact that you didn't know. But to get out of school when I was in high school and I was doing badly, I went to OTEC. You know what that is?
No.
It's the Vocational Education Center of Royal Oak, where you could take like most people went there and took like auto mechanics, and it's like the high school version, a higher level version of like shop and metal shop, where they teach you a technical trade. So I took 2 years of fashion design.
Really?
Yes.
You waited all this time to tell me that?
I was thinking when I was thinking last week about buying a sewing machine, I was thinking about like, I bet you if I dig around upstairs, I can find all of the books where I was drawing clothes.
I used to draw clothes too. I wanted to be a fashion designer for a while.
I drew clothes for like a year, and then I spent another year like learning how to sew, base stitching and back stitching and all that stuff.
Do you really know how to sew?
I really do.
Okay, listen, there's this thing that I've been thinking of for a while, and I didn't know who to ask because I don't. You'll see why. But anyway, so I haven't picked up Bean's dog bed yet because I don't fucking want to. And I'm like, I can't throw it out. What am I fucking supposed to do with it? So I was thinking the other day I could make a pillow out of it.
Yeah, that would be super easy to do.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who to ask because I literally don't want to give this to anybody. I don't want it out of my sight. So
yeah,
like,
I could make you a big pillow out of it.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our new goal.
Well, then that is just solidifies that I need to get another sewing machine.
I know.
I haven't had one for like 10 years.
I need it. We need it. It would be so cute. That would make me feel better because I can't just get rid of it.
Right.
Okay, so we have to find you a sewing machine and put that on the list. We could probably we always see them at thrift stores.
I know. I was looking for them today, actually. I didn't say anything when we were at the thrift stores.
Yeah, we did not see any.
Yeah, there were a few, but they were like antique ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not what I want. They have so many, like the machines now. I mean, I was taking fashion design in 1987, and the machines that we were using, a lot of the machines we used were like commercial machines. But now the machines they have now, like automatic bobbin winding and like all this crazy stuff that they never had when I was taking in class. It makes it so much easier to sew and would be so much easier for me.
Yeah, they have ones that like make patches and shit now, don't they?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, that's exciting.
John history, you didn't know.
I did not know that. No.
When I went to OTAC, it was called CEVEC at the time, Southeast Oakland Educational Vocation Center is what CEVEC stood for. But when I went there, that was the first time I ever initiated and was involved with a protest, because when you would go to CEVEC from your high school, your lunch hour was spent on the bus going to CEVEC. And then when you got to CEVEC, you went right to class, and then you went to class until 3, and then they just drove you home on the bus. So anybody that went to CEVEC didn't get a lunch because you weren't allowed to eat on the buses.
What?
So me and 2 other kids organized, I made up flyers, Punk Rock John made up flyers, and I said, passed them out, and I told everybody, like, next Friday, we're all going to get off the buses, and none of us are going to go to class until they give us lunch.
Yeah.
And so I didn't think anybody would, like, show up. I walked off the bus, and there were already, like, 200 kids standing by the front doors. And I was like, what? And then, like, one of the other guys ran over to me and he was like, it's working. What do we do? And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, let's walk around the building and chant, we want lunch. And so like 500 kids ended up walking around the building chanting, we want lunch. The supervisor of the school and the school board superintendent came and had meetings that day with me and the 2 other guys. And we were like, we need lunch. You can't just deny all these kids lunch. Like, we're students.
Yeah.
And so they promised us that if we went back to class starting on Monday, they would figure something out. And we didn't really believe them. So we told all the kids, like, be prepared to do this again. And kids are like, we're not going to class. So of course we'll fucking do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when we went back to school on Monday, everybody went to class and they had lunch carts come into every room and kids could get lunch from the lunch cart.
Like, why did it take them so long to figure that out?
Who the fuck knows? But I think that was even the first time I think I was even in the paper, the newspaper, because the Tribune found out about it and sent people out to like do a story on why all these kids were protesting.
Yeah.
I think that did more work than us actually protesting. When it got into the newspaper that all of us kids weren't getting lunch, I think the parents really fired it up over the weekend.
Did you paid to go there?
No, it was like, instead of taking like your last 3 classes at your high school, mm-hmm. at lunchtime, you'd go first, second, third hour, and then you'd have lunch, and then you'd do 4th, 5th, and 6th hour. Mm-hmm. When you went to CEVEC at lunchtime, you got on a bus and you went and did 3 hours of vocational training.
Dang, I wish we would have had that. I didn't learn fucking anything.
And you could do like, I took fashion design, but again, there was like a metal shop, there was car mechanics, there was horticulture, there was a giant greenhouse, like they teach you how to grow plants and stuff. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And now it's closed.
Boo.
Boo.
I know, I still want to, like, when we get those like local magazines where it says there's like activities, I'm like, I want to do pottery. I want to learn how to do pottery.
They're mostly at the senior center in Royal Oak.
Can I go?
Yeah, you just sign up for them.
I want to go.
That's where I took cha-cha lessons at the senior center.
I want to do that. I want to do like jewelry making, and I want to do stained glass stuff. I want to do everything. Yeah,
like 20 years ago, I was like sitting around on like a Tuesday, and I was like, I got nothing to do. And I had one of those Royal Oak pamphlets, and I was like, oh, there's cha-cha lessons at the senior center. It's like $5. So like I signed up for cha-cha lessons.
Oh my God. They were probably so stoked to have you.
I was by 50 years the youngest person in that class.
I bet.
Which was also kind of fun because that meant that my partner was the teacher. But it was fun. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Turn, 2, cha-cha-cha.
You did a lot of dancing on this trip.
A lot of dancing in the stores where you're not supposed to dance.
No, we just kept dancing. You danced more than I danced, but...
Well, I don't know why you get so embarrassed when I start busting moves.
Because I don't expect it. It just comes out of nowhere. And it's like... it's alarming for me. Because you go from like, you look like you're miserable, and then you literally start full dancing.
I I'm trying to break it up.
Somebody on Twitter called me out for having a Marge Simpson laugh, and I just did it. I just noticed it. Sorry, not sorry.
We can't get into that. I think I've watched 5 episodes of The Simpsons.
I don't really watch it either, but they were like, it wasn't just specifically a Marge Simpson laugh. They were like, it's funny because you have like a bunch of different laughs, which I feel like I do. And then they said, and I also have a Marge Simpson laugh like you do. And I was like, oh man. No, I meant to, speaking of high school, I something stupid happened like while we were on our trip. Like I think I opened Facebook like fucking once on this trip because who gives a shit? But I opened it and this kid who was literally horrible to me in high school fucking friended me. And like, first of all, at no point, okay, we talk about this all the time, but like usually those people, it's like you would have at least considered yourself an acquaintance or a friend. And it's like, all this time has passed. Even if we were friends, we don't need to be now. This is weird. You don't know me. I don't know you, whatever. But this fucking kid, I don't even remember how it started. I don't think I did anything. Okay, first of all.
Are you explaining a movie?
I know it is. I know I'm so bad at explaining stuff. But anyway, you know how me and you are just us. We're legit. We like shit. We know about shit. We don't prove it. We just live our lives, whatever. So that's how I was back then too. So this kid always thought he was cool as fuck. Like, ooh, look at me in my band shirts and And I don't remember if he put out like a CD in high school. And I swear, I don't even think it was a band. I literally think it was just like him playing all the music by his fucking self. I don't remember. But so then it got back to me that a bunch of the shit in the liner notes was talking shit about me. I was like, what? I'm like, I never fucking did anything to this kid. I have no idea what this is about. So I never spoke. And he would just talk mad shit about me. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is about. And literally, the kid fucking friended me like 2 days ago. What? What?
He loved you.
He's a fucking douchebag. I literally want to go right back and be like, what are you thinking? I'm not writing anything. I'm not accepting anything. But it's just like, of all the people, like, why would your enemies friend you? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know why people do shit like that.
That is so uncomfortable. I'm so uncomfortable. So, like, I hope he fucking sucks everything I do. And if you're listening, you're fucking weird as fuck. And that was a weird move. Push on.
It's a weird move.
Weird fucking move, bro. We've had some very weird internet interactions lately.
It's just because the world's on fire.
It is. Everybody's stress level is up really high, but this is just like a reminder to anybody that, like, regardless of what you're going through personally, you don't have to take it out on other people. If you need to do work on yourself, maybe you should do that. Like, don't fire off shit to strangers or people that you know, because it's rude and weird. How about that?
How about the birthday card I got from my dad when I got home?
Oh, let's have it. It's not even your birthday yet.
Just a birthday card. It says happy 50th birthday on it. Mm-hmm. And then you open it up and there's one of those just birthday card poems that's pre-written in a birthday card. Mm-hmm. But above it, my dad wrote, "Can't believe it's 50. I'll send another card later, Dad."
What does it even mean? You guys did, though, when we were at the Airbnb, I heard you talking to somebody, and I'm like, that has to be his dad. And y'all were, like, talking. I never hear you talking that nice with each other, ever.
He's my father, and he's a pretty terrible person and has been pretty terrible and said some pretty horrible things to me. And you know this about me. Like, it's always hard to state this. We've said it before on this podcast. I love humanity, and I don't have to love an individual person, but I can recognize that living creatures like deserve some kind of kindness. Mm-hmm. I don't have to give it if I don't want, but if I do want to, I can. And so, like, talking to him on the phone, like, he called me, and the first thing he said was, is it raining where you're at? Because we had a terrible storm. So me being me is like, there's some type of not concern for me, but he was scared. Yeah. As an old man living alone up in the wilderness during a big storm, his way of saying I got scared at this big storm was, is it raining where you're at? Because we had a big storm.
Mm-hmm. True.
And so knowing that he was in a vulnerable position, I just gave some kindness.
Yeah, that was nice. And did he know too? I thought maybe too it would have something to do with the fact. Did he know that we were all together with your sister and stuff? And
No.
No. I thought maybe somehow that made it better, but I guess not.
No.
Weird. Did you?
As a matter of fact, he said like, "Is everybody in Saugatuck?"
Oh.
Meaning my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nephew. And I said, "Yeah, they're there."
Yeah.
But I didn't say I was.
Yeah. That was really fun.
It was fun. Good trip.
Good trip.
I'm fucking exhausted, but good trip.
I am fucking exhausted. We were literally like, not even on the way home, but like the second to last day, we're like, oh my God, when we get home from this, we literally have to record the pod right when we're home.
And then I have to pass out tonight and immediately start editing when I wake up tomorrow.
Yep. And I have to work.
It'll give me purpose.
Yeah, I'm fine. It'll be fine. But I wanted to say too, on the flip side of like people sending weird messages to us, we did get some nice stuff in our PO box right before we left. We got a toy, and we got a book or a journal.
We got a journal. We got a Beetlejuice toy.
Yeah, and then Jennifer Dedrick, she makes these soaps. It's like Zanti soap, Zaanti. She gave us soaps and protective spray, and everything smells so good. That was so nice. So we got stuff.
The soap is unpacked and unwrapped and in my shower already.
Mine's sitting right next to me. I'm going to put a picture of it on our Instagram. But if anybody wants to send us something in our P.O. Box and surprise us with something weird, it's P.O. Box, P.O. Box 2107, Royal Oak, Michigan 48068. I didn't think we were going to have anything. And then I like came marching out of the P.O. Box with 3 things. And I was like, and it's usually all shit for you because you get stuff from everybody. You get like 5 things from people and then I get nothing. And then I'm like, both of our names is on all of it. and then
another surprise that I got was one of the very few exes of mine that I actually enjoy and think is a nice person sent me a text saying that she likes the podcast.
I know, that was weird. You're like, because we were talking about how some people have had like 20 phone numbers in their lives, and both of us have had the same phone number since we were like born. So like really anybody could text us at any time. And you were saying like, somebody texted me. That was nice, though.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice when someone that you likes your podcast.
I don't know. I seriously forget a lot of the time that anybody's going to hear this. And
in a world where you and I are talking to each other and trying to commiserate and hopefully bringing a little bit of joy, like to someone somewhere, even if it's just me to you or you to me, like. And if someone else listening gets it, that's pretty fantastic. In a world where we do that, but people feel the need to like be like, you're garbage. It's nice to get a text saying like, I like your podcast.
I know. That's all you have to say. You don't have to get weird. You don't have to be passive aggressive or leave us bad reviews. If you like it, just say something nice. If you don't, that's fine. There's like a billion other podcasts you could listen to.
Right. I could have been mean to my dad, but I saw an opportunity for kindness.
And you were also having like a really nice time. Like if you were at your house all hot and cranky, you would have been like, you know what? I hope you got rained on, motherfucker.
But I mean, sometimes that's what I mean. Like if you see an opportunity for kindness, mm-hmm. you can give it if you choose. Mm-hmm. If you choose not to, that doesn't mean you have to be a dick.
True.
You just don't give kindness.
Yeah, you can be a neutral party.
Yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't have anything to do with anything, but I saw that new movie with Nick Cage called Pig. He's like a truffle person in the woods, and he has a truffle pig.
Don't tell me I haven't seen it yet.
I know I'm not going to say anything more than that, but I'm just saying the movie was so fucking good. It was like really intense and well acted and perfect, and everybody should go see Pig. I really liked it. I was like trying to work out when I was watching it, and I was like frozen. I couldn't even do anything. Like there's when a movie has like a long ass part where like one person talks and you're just like frozen.
Yes.
It has like one of those parts, and I was like, oh my God. Like in what's that movie? Is it Inglourious Bastards where that guy talks at the beginning and you're like frozen?
Yeah.
Big ass monologue, kind of like that.
Big character dialogue moment.
Yes. There's such a good, awkward, perfect part. The whole movie is perfect. It's just really unexpected and good, especially like people see Nicolas Cage on a movie poster or something, and they'll be like, oh geez. But it's like, it's brilliant. It really
What
is.
movie did you say that you hadn't seen?
Oh, fuck, a million things that you think I should see that I haven't seen.
There was something I thought.
Was that the record that we looked at the Antique Mall?
What was it?
Matthew Broderick movie.
Yeah, what Matthew brought? Oh, War Games! You've never seen War Games.
Okay. You haven't seen so many movies.
Oh my God, but how haven't you seen War Games?
I don't know. I'll watch it, I guess.
Ugh. It's probably not. That probably doesn't hold up very well because it's all about computers, but it was made in the 80s, so.
That's weird because we were talking about Matthew Broderick on the way out to the trip, which I don't even remember why we were talking about him.
Because I was talking about how no matter how old he gets, he still looks like Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, because I was talking about Sex and the City, and you're like, what's Matthew Broderick looking like these days? And then we Googled him, and he literally just looks like Matthew Broderick still. Old Town Roasting.
Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
You made coffee already?
Yeah, I drank half a pot of coffee already.
Oh my God. I gotta make coffee. I gotta wash up my coffee pot now because I got it all moldy. And I'm gonna get my sock dog soon.
You got any vinegar
I do have vinegar.
to clean your coffee machine out?
I will. Oh no, I'll do that. But no, the lady, our other sponsor, Sock Dogs, sockdogs.com, she's making me my bean, and she said she's going to bring it to Mission Paracon. And then that happened on our trip. She like DM'd me, and she's like, do you want bean to have 3 legs or 4 legs? And I was like, and I didn't know what to say. And then I had already decided, but you like confirmed my decision that like, because I had that dream and I said that he was whole in the dream. So we decided that he should have 4 legs instead of 3 legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited. It's going to be so cute. What else? Anything?
No, I think that's it.
We talked about so many things. I'm so excited to edit the trip video together. I love our Patreons. Shout out to the Pates. Oh, that was the other funny thing that we forgot to put. It's in this card. The Jennifer who sent us the soap, she was like, well, she wrote a lot of nice stuff, and then she signed it at the bottom, and then in quotes underneath it says, ruby-throated hummingbird. We're like tackled in the car because everybody really likes the bird name. Oh, we have to do more bird names of our new Pates because Anne, I won't say her last name because that's awkward, but Anne, our Patreon, didn't get a bird, and Adam Berry still hasn't gotten a bird.
I know. I was waiting until we didn't do just 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. She's like, I think I got skipped, and I'm like, no, I think we're just. But she said she was ooh, there's a big bug on my. But no, she said she joined kind of near the beginning. She's like, I think I got skipped. I'm like, I'll figure it out. We'll get you a bird. Don't worry.
We'll figure it out.
Everybody gets a bird.
All right, what are you going to do now? Just melt for the rest of the night?
I don't want to drink a whole ass Red Bull, and now I'm fucking jacked up.
Do some push-ups.
Well, I'm going to go outside and see if the possum came yet.
Did you ride that bike and get some of that Walmart food off of you?
Dude, right? I only have 2 weeks to Paracon, and then that means I only have like 6 weeks to UFC, and I'm a fucking garbage blob fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I really have to be on a diet now. That's it. For the first 2 weeks of our trip, we ate just bread. We ate a hot pretzel and we ate bagels and we just kept in donuts.
I just like that when we went to Walgreens last night, it was like, just going to get some orange juice and a snack.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
2 bags of popcorn.
2 different bags of popcorn.
And then we smashed all the popcorn today when we were driving. It's fine. Nothing can happen when you're on vacation. That's the rules.
That's the rules.
That's the rules.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, I'm done too.
All right, go look for animals.
I'm gonna go look for my possums.
Okay.
Whoa, I just heard something. I think they're out there.
I'll see what fell over here.
I know, what the fuck?
Make sure everything's okay.
We brought home something from the antique mall, man.
No!
Oh!
No, that's why I cleaned everything already.
I didn't, but my ottoman feels great. I have it right next to me. I fucking love this thing. It doesn't feel spooky. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, bye!
Bye!